Hello, 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 Virgos! How are we guys doing? Did we like the Advent Calendar series? Proceeding forward, you will have your own time and space on this channel, as I am going back to all 12 individual signs. I will post something in the community to have like a schedule and shit when I will figure my schedule out. But I really want to keep the same 3 themes and have all 12 signs. Ooh, Hanged Man. So you are pensive. You are in reflection mode, and you might seem like you are in a pickle or a little tangled up in things. You might be sacrificing a little bit of your time and a little bit of your energy, but it's for the greater good of analyzing things, maybe studying your boundaries, raising your boundaries, seeing things for what they are, being very sharp-minded at this time. Unless this is concerning somebody outside of you who embodies the Queen of Swords energy. And here we have Ace of Wands, Queen of Pentacles. Ooh, there's a new fire. New work, new inspiration regarding Queen of Pentacles, or something that you can do from home that can bring in stability and money. So like crochet or canning, all that stuff. Things around the house that you have a skillful knowledge for, that you can transform into work and later into money. Or maybe, whoa, what is that? Virgos, what's the stress about? Or you're not having money. Okay, I mean, everybody's financial situation is like shit at the moment, so hopefully oh my god, get resolved. Virgo, what's your energy is like so freaking chaotic. You're also looking at the past, looking at what you did, what worked, what didn't work, why things shaped up the way they did. And again, that 7 of Pentacles just jumping. So the past is very, very, very important for you at this time to reflect on it. Your behaviors, your patterns, what happened, why, who were involved, in what capacity, what was exchanged, yabla yabla, all the tiny details. Really hone in that Queen of Swords, analytical, sharp-witted, clever energy to figure out why you are stressing out over things from the past. And is it work-related? Because you're putting in the work. You're showing resilience, dedication, and patience, and it's really committed to the craft. But you're also juggling something. All the while you are trying to perfect your craft, you have to juggle with something that might destabilize you a little bit. Okay, I think I'm gonna cut here and wish me luck. A cat that wasn't ours was on my property last night. The dogs were barking their souls out. I tried to save the cat and put it outside for safety, and the cat bit my thumb in 2 places. It was pretty gnarly. The tip of my thumb is still like stiff and a little and throbbing painful. So I'm a little incapacitated in my shuffling, but we will get through this. This is going to be a 5-card spread, which means 10 really, because I do like to, give you context. Oof, starting strong with the Empress. Knight of Wands. Oh, and now we have 2 knights and a bit of spying. and a Queen. Ooh la la. And again, your reminder to look at the past, see what things were, how they were, what happened, consequences, outcomes, etc., etc., all those glorious details. Virgo, you are analytical, so that process should be fairly easy for you. Your analytical and helpful nature excels in detail but often spirals into perfectionism and self-criticism. We need to be cautious to avoid to slip that slippery slope. This spread uncovers nitpicking patterns for a kinder self in 2026. The overanalysis. What perfectionist thought loop causes unnecessary stress? You want to be the all giving, all providing, all nurturing, all loving, the penultimate nurturing, loving, beautiful, abundant energy, but you are not making a decision in regards to that. If this is not you, the Empress not being you, it's in regards to an outside energy that is the Empress in your life. Could be a mother or could be a spouse, could be someone very near and dear to your heart that has a very impactful, meaningful presence in your immediate energetic surrounding. So definitely wife, mother of your children, that sort of or a very significant, meaningful, creative, abundant person in your life. And there's also a lack of wanting to make a decision. You're purposefully putting yourself in that over-analyzing, dilly-dallying, delaying, stalling for time before you commit to a decision. And if this is regarding a project that you are nurturing and creating, that you are birthing, like literally, like if you're writing a book, composing a song, writing a skit, or working on a long-term project, with the Empress can be just like literally me working on his channel. It's a long-term project and all the derivatives. The more you are over analyzing and over charting and over scheduling and over doing the prep work, you get lost in those nitpicky details that are halting your creative flow and that abundance of just being inspired on the spot as you do something. So that loop is causing you unnecessary stress at the moment. You might want to just step out of it a little bit so you get something done, so that you get inspiration to proceed forward, and with that you can have enlightenment on how to proceed and get clarity on that decision that you need to make. 7 of Wands, but you are being a little defensive, a little off pushing or standoffish, but more like pushing people off. Maybe outside guidance, processes, help. Page of Pentacles, you have a practical approach, a very studious approach to this, so very looking into the finer details and tinkering with things, making sure that things are how they should be to be pristine, perfect, but it's delaying you in actually putting in the work and starting the work and actually, just committing to something. And sometimes just taking a breather, walking away from the situation and literally physically walking can stimulate your brain into seeing things differently, and then you have all those aha moments that enlighten where you are otherwise stuck. So that's a suggestion for you to step out of that loop. Ace of Cups, and if you do so, you will find new inspiration, new love, something that will fulfill you emotionally and not just leave you in that space of having to be technical, practical, analytical in how to deliver whatever you are creating or nurturing or about to birth, in the sense of a project or work, creative something. The judgmental pattern. How does your helpfulness turn into harsh criticism of others? You might be a little too fiery, too passionate with the Knight of Wands. It comes from a space of being inspired and passionate and loving what you do. But if you are too self-centered and only there for the fun times and not the long times, it might come across as harsh by others. And again, straight up communication. You might want to consider not watching your tongue per se, but just how you deliver, and to be sure that everybody knows that you come from a place of this is so quintessentially meaning to you that you might not mince your words on every occasion, but you really need to be on the same page with everybody that this is super important. Well, importance can depend on the situation and person, but it's coming from your heart. It's a passion project. It means a lot to you. You want to nurture it. You want to render it perfectly, to deliver it perfectly. And so you need to be on the same page of communication with others without turning it into harsh criticism of others. If people are a bit slower in delivering their end of the bargain, of their end of the processes, maybe nudge them in a gentler way and just highlight how meaningful this is for you without being too abrasive and too fiery and just resulting into insults or hurting people because you are too fiery and too passionate. On the other hand, since we live in the modern age, please avoid those emails. I hope this email finds you well, and that bullshit, because it's like so passive aggressive. How does Virgo's helpfulness turn into harsh criticism? And maybe your fire is just more lit up because you are inspired, but for them it's just another project, another work. They are not motivated by the same raw fire that lives inside your heart. And you have to take that into consideration too. And we have the High Priestess and the Page of Wands. So listen to your intuition on one hand and allow people to come at their own pace, to maybe diverge a little, to give you a different perspective on this whole thing that you are nurturing and working on. Maybe so choose your words wisely. Don't spit out everything that pops to your mind. With the High Priestess, it's a question of moderating what comes out. Is it justified? Is it necessary? Is it helpful to the situation, to the project? But also listen to your intuition, and even if your ego is screaming at you that bitch, slap that bitch, maybe just smile politely and find a very polite, demure way of expressing yourself without being a cunt and being really, just too pushy, too demanding. Pardon. Especially with the Knight of Swords now jumping out, you really want to mince your words. And even if you are very much inspired to jump into action, because now we have two knights. Knight of Wands, fire, passion, fueling the Knight of Swords, which is wind, air, thoughts, and the Knight of Swords fuels the fire of the Knight of Wands. So it's like a double fire, this is a wildfire. But this is a sort of wildfire that decimates forest in like a day. So you might want to keep that in check and really temper the fire, the passion, the words, the communication that is coming out of you, so that you are not harsh when you criticize others when they are out there with the butterflies chasing puppies or diverting into other directions which are not the direction and the foundation that you have laid out for whatever this situation is for you. The worry habit. What over-planning behavior limits spontaneous joy, which is basically the Page of Wands. And we have the Knight of Swords again. So you might be just too abrasive sometimes, or too much in your head, and too cutting with your words, a little too well, action oriented, yes, without thinking the consequences on the long term. And but this is interesting because the Knight of Swords is the complete antithesis of over planning. This guy just rushes into shit and fuck the consequences. But if it's a meaningful relationship in a meaningful situation, give me just a moment, please. So, as I was saying, the Knight of Swords is the complete antithesis, the complete opposite of over planning. This guy just rushes into action and fuck the consequences, especially with words and thoughts. But in conjunction or conjunct with the Ace of Cups, if this whole situation is in regards a new fulfilling relationship, or a emotionally fulfilling, satisfying project or whatever endeavor that you are embarking in, that has a potential of fulfilling your soul and your heart, you really want to slow down and do a bit of more planning than just rushing into it. It's like it's like a 0 to a 100. Virgos are normally very good at planning, laying out the schedule and being super practical, and every folder is named the appropriate way, every file is in the right folder, etc., etc. And the Knight of Swords is the messiest, just going into action and doesn't give a fuck about folders and files and hierarchy or structure or all that stuff. And so you need to find the balance in between being over prepared and over planning and just rushing into action, especially if you want the fulfillment of this thing to be valid, to be fulfilling, and to grow from an Ace to a 10 of Cups, which is the penultimate happiness jackpot card. And also, if you just rush into action, you might be scattering yourself, and you start one too many thing that feels good in the spot, but then you're committed to that, and it's like a dilution of your fire and your creative power. On the other hand, by having too much, you are overburdening yourself, again going to that 10 of Wands energy. So you need to find the middle ground between over planning and spontaneous joy. Something for my Virgos. Six of Pentacles. Allow others to give back to you. Criticism or just ideas. Swapping ideas. Inspiration. Help. Practical approach. Delegate if you can. So that you are not overburdened, overstressed, because you are just dashing into action, accumulating all these little things as you go, and overfilling your desk with projects and files and everything. And by delegating just a little and giving some aspects to other contributors to whatever this is in your life, you will step out of your Eight of Swords stress energy, and you are maximizing the potential of that 10 of Pentacles, building a long-term legacy, foundation, stability, money, comfort, etc., etc., etc. But you really need to find the balance between having every step of the process, including inhale and exhale, in a timely manner, and just ditching all of that and rushing into action to have the maximum that you can do done by you to fit your standard for whatever accomplished project should look like. The release lesson. What self-compassion tool will ease your inner critic? Again, just slow down. Take the vantage point, look around, take it all in, and just slow down. Have a nurturing and practical approach with the Queen of Pentacles. Appreciate what you have. Do not flaunt it, but really take in the growth that you have reached thus far and allow yourself to have a little tap on the shoulder. I did this. I took all the information. I delayed a little bit. It was a 2-step forward, 1 step back, but I am in this very comfortable, abundant, secure, stable situation where I can grow, where I can give, where I can have a practical approach to transform, metamorphosis all that accumulated knowledge into a practical way so that it has a meaning, it has a purpose, it has a concrete way of shaping other people's lives and experiences. The Page of Swords investigates, learns, studies, just accumulates knowledge, all the basically little details. Okay, let's take the example of a bread. The Page of Swords will learn how to make the bread, all the ingredients that is needed, all the proofing and all the kneading and all that stuff. He will make mistakes, he will fuck up bread, but at the level of the Queen of Pentacles, she knows how to transmute all that knowledge into the most beautiful, artistic, savory sourdough bread you have ever tasted in your whole life. And you're gonna be like, holy fuck, give me 10 of those. So that's the transmuting of energies. You have the intellectual side and you have the practical side approach of that. And you need to allow yourself that self-compassion that yes, you have put in the work, yes, you have studied, yes, you're capable, and just be grateful for that. Not everybody can. And if your inner critic is, yeah, but the crust is a little too brown or a little overbaked, well, silence that critic. You still manage something that most people are afraid of even tackling the base of. And we have the Four of Cups, so there is a little bit of boredom, a little bit of dissatisfaction. You're not quite completely satisfied, which can go back to your inner critic self because you want to reach absolute God tier perfection, which is not of this world. So allow yourself room to breathe, to make mistakes, and you still will be happy. It's in your reach. Just allow yourself to acknowledge that you're human and humans make mistakes. Humans need to learn, to perfect. And are you putting in the time, the work, the obsession? Are you planning or are you doing? Because if you spend 10 years planning something and one day doing it, of course it's gonna fail spectacularly because you have all the intellectual knowledge side of it, zero practice. Be like the Japanese, be obsessed, yes, but practice, 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 and through practice you will make the best croissant, the best cannoli, defeating the freaking original creators, the French and the Italian, at the world competition of cannoli and croissant, because you put in the practical work with the Queen of Pentacles into that. Not just planning, strategizing, and learning everything that you can from the craft that you want to tackle. And we have here a progression of a Knight of Pentacles to a King of Pentacles, joining in the Queen of Pentacles. So it's like in poker when you have like 3 cards. Knight, Queen, King. You're just missing the page at this point to have like a 4 winning streak, whatever it's called. I don't play poker. And again, slowness, steadiness, practical, reliable, putting in the work, putting in the time, the patience. Watch every step of the way, but also every your step, so that you can transform the intellectual abstract thing into something that you can fructify, multiply, and create literally like a source of income that you can reinvest in and have passive income and just stability that you are able to provide for yourself, for your family, for your friends, for your community, etc., etc. It's just by slowing down, by having a practical approach, you are silencing your inner critic, you reach pure unparalleled joy and happiness, and you're also practical, grounded, and self-sufficient, and always thriving in those energies. The new pact. What efficient harmony arises from releasing control? And we have the Queen of Wands, assertive, bold, beautiful, confident, sassy, ooh, and the King of Cups. I mean, this is a snazzy pair. He will bring the calm, quiet, sensual, loving energy, like the very caring energy, and she will bring in the fire. And together, the harmony is basically water and fire, so a hearty soup. And yeah, so when you release control, you are in one hand in tune with your emotions, you have a better mastery of your emotions, you can better harness your emotions, but you can also, from that, you can grow your confidence, your self-accomplishment. You are no longer doubting, no longer need external validation, and you're just more comfortable that you don't need to spend 10 years working on that planner and every step of every minute of every day, because you're just confident that things will work out if you put in the work and the emotional heart space that is required to see the project through from initial spark to completion. With the King of Cups, you can also be generous, giving time, giving love, giving counsel. And with the Queen of Wands, it's just being assertive, confident, shining, bold, expressive. It's a magnetic, charismatic energy here. And that is the efficient harmony. You are harmonizing water and fire, emotion and work, the heart space and the sexual or work space, the ability to reproduce and make more, but with a sense of control, like a guided control, directed sense of control, not just wild like rabbits. Seven of Pentacles, but for that you need to look into the past, into past patterns, behaviors, past projects, past everything that you have done, collaborations, how they panned out, what worked, what didn't work, how were the synergies between you and others, or you and the project itself, the resources, the time you invested, all those, pesky details. You need to reflect on how things shaped out, what were the end result, what was put into it, without overburdening yourself with the Ten of Wands, which is something that earth signs, hardworking, practical tend to do. You just start 10 bazillion projects, they all land on your desk and it's becoming paperweight or just stress. With Ten of Wands, it's stress, burden, weight, excess. So you need to drop something somewhere to get back into balance and flow and declutter your mind so that you can think, you can create, you can focus where your attention needs to be. And avoid the Nine of Swords, sleepless night, too much stress because you have too much on your plate and you couldn't drop something in time. So definitely you need to harmonize fire and water, emotion and work, so that you are avoiding being overburdened for the sake of being overburdened, which you're not proving anything to anybody with that. So let's see what are the last oracles for my Virgos. Hello. Something for Virgos, please. Oh, we have something. Oh, that's freaking beautiful. So we have the Phoenix, and we have looking at the stars. Rebirth. So rise from your ashes and look beyond your immediate vicinity, your immediate landscape. Look at the stars, be inspired. Dare to dream big. But not at the cost of you literally dying in your own fire. Yes, you can resurrect, but I mean, if you can avoid the process of overburdening yourself and dying in the process, that'd be like good. So you have more time to work on whatever you are passionate about, in whatever new other worlds you want to reach. Oh, Jesus. The Fox's journey gives us the roar. Look at that. It's like, isn't there like a song, Hear Me Roar? I swear there's a song like that. Okay, and so number 19 is, oh come on. Number 19, the roar. Self-defense, power, and voice. If you need to raise your boundaries, don't hesitate to do so to protect yourself, but not too high boundaries. If you want others to let others in on the whatever this situation is for you. Bare your teeth if needed. Use your anger to protect your boundaries. But I would say against your own self, if you tend to like overclog your desk with one too many step or process or planner or all that stuff. It's good to plan, but you are also countering your own creative flow with that. So you might have to roar a little bit back at yourself to tone it down, to allow the beautiful chaos of the universe to come in and shine its light, to literally let the universe inspire you, to like give you that fire to a revival. I mean, that Phoenix has definitely like a second, like a judgment or second revival, resurrection energy to it. And with the telescope, it's very much just look beyond what is directly in front of you and dare to scream into the universe what you want. With obviously a respectful energy, not being brash and not jumping into things for the sake of just jumping into things. Anyway, Virgos, I'm gonna end it here. Thank you for having been here with me. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your energy. I hope this was insightful, helpful, entertaining, and I will see you after New Year 2026. Thank you. Ciao, ciao. Peace out.